Like, I can't lie, man. Having all of these spaces say I'm a racist was tough on me.
Look, I'm not going to mince words. I've been pretty critical of Ryan Clark on this channel for certain things that I deemed as race baiting coming from him. Even recently this past week, I made a couple videos calling him out about how he judged Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen differently in the MVP debate. But with that said, I'm going to play you the clip right now of RC, who kind of opens up in this video emotionally, breaking down all the backlash he received on social media where fans alleged he was race baiting and has past comments regarding Lamar Jackson as the first authentic black QB. Anyways, here's that clip.
And it was hard. As much as you try to say you don't care about certain things and you can ignore things as they come, like that thing, right? Like the thing you speak against, the thing you want to eradicate, the people you want to change. It's like, I'm that, I couldn't get it. And like, I've heard race baiter, right? Like the people who want to uphold racism or want to act like it doesn't exist, who call you that so they can devalue your words whenever you speak truth to light. So now when there is discrimination or there is racial bias or there is racism, that nobody listened to him because this is what he's always screaming. And so like, I could ignore that. And because I could ignore that, like, man, I let people lie. I let people misinform. I let people misquote because I didn't really want to get into it. I didn't want to feed into it. I didn't want to really fight a battle. Like I can't win. I remember the whole Sage thing breaks and everybody's like, you don't want to work with her because she's a conservative. You're this, you're that. You don't want to work with her because of vaccination. Nobody ever just asked like why I didn't want to work that day. Like I didn't want the energy I felt to show on screen. I didn't want to make her uncomfortable, and I sure as hell didn't want to be uncomfortable. So I said, hey guys, can Matt Berry ask me the questions? Because right now, as a black man, I have an issue that you could sit up with Jay Cutler and laugh at President Obama, a black man, because he wanted to be black. Like, why is that a problem? That somebody would want to be that? That's beautiful, to want to be that and to stand in that and to want to raise your babies in that. It's like, I couldn't get it. So I just asked, hey, can she not ask me the questions today? And if anybody would ever paid attention, I worked with her weeks later when I didn't have that energy no more. And so, like I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it here for a second. So Sage Steele was a former ESPN anchor who sued the network and ended up settling. She was one of the more outspoken conservatives at the company, and one time when she went on Jay Cutler's podcast a few years ago, she trashed ESPN for their vaccine mandate and said that she didn't understand why President Obama, when completing a 2010 census, checked off African American when his father was absent from his life and he was raised by his mother and her side of the family only. So Ryan Clark obviously had issues with Sage Steele and refused to go on the set with her after her controversial remarks on Jay Cutler's podcast. But here in this video, it appears he had no issues with her being conservative or her position with the vaccine mandates.
And then there was the whole authentically black thing. Nobody ever fact checked that. What was it? At like _ ML football put out that I said Lamar was the first authentically black quarterback. That's stupid. Like, it's just dumb. And so instead of fighting it, like, I let it be. So then Outkick says, okay, Ryan Clark says Lamar is this. They didn't do their research either. I never said that. Michelle Tafoya, I go on her show, she plays the clip, and I say, okay, Michelle, where did I say Lamar Jackson was authentically black? She's like, you didn't. Did you say it somewhere else? No, I never said that. I said he was authentically himself. But I guess that's wrong to say that a quarterback who gets so much pushback on how he plays and sometimes who he is and the decisions he's made, that it's cool that I think he stayed authentically himself.
Okay, so he's not wrong here. That tweet from ML Football came like probably 3 months after RC actually made that quote. The quote was made right before the Ravens-Chiefs championship game last year, and this is what RC said on First Take.
And he never changed the way that he led a locker room. He just improved on it. But it stayed authentically Lamar Jackson. And for that reason, when he wins or when he loses, the conversation is about so much bigger than just who he is as a player. So this is imperative that Lamar Jackson not only wins this game, but he wins the Super Bowl.
So 100%, Ryan Clark said Lamar was authentically himself. However, I would have to push back a little when you look at this tweet RC posted on the same day of that clip. He tweeted, "I know we had Doug Williams, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson win the Super Bowl, but Lamar is a different breed. He's one of the best in the world today, and his authenticity to who he is unique. He's been told that people who talk like you, wear their hair like you, or lead the way that you do aren't supposed to be on top, and that's before you get criticism for his style of play. Lamar Jackson represents a challenge to the status quo, the unfamiliar they said wouldn't work, and a community of little boys who one day dream his authenticity could be their own. He's got more than a nameplate that reads Jackson on his back. He's got an entire culture." Okay, so when you read that tweet, it does appear RC is differentiating Lamar from the other black QBs. He said Lamar was a different breed, and then said his authenticity to who he is unique, then mentioned about how Lamar talks and his hair. Like, come on, two of the other three QBs he mentioned are often the butt end of many jokes in the black community due to them being light-skinned, how they talk or dress, and just their overall demeanor compared to Lamar. But I'm going to give RC the benefit of the doubt because maybe I'm misinterpreting his tweet. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You know, and then there's this like Lamar and Josh thing. I got to be racist because I think Lamar, who had a historic year, is the MVP, and Josh, who had an amazing year and a great year and brought this team up, is second. I think they're both great. I want them to both win. And now everybody's playing this clip with me standing on the table last year with Dan and Rex. All right, y'all, here it is. I'm going to be honest. At the time, Rex and Dan, who loves Josh Allen, and Greeny were all saying, hey, it's not on him. And I did think he missed the read high to low. I did think he got to finish that ball to the open receiver in the end zone when Deion Dawkins is being pushed back on him. And we were having a boring ass segment. So what I do, I make that statement in an entertaining way, pop up, give us drama, give us energy, because that's the game. Like it's fun. And then, you know, you let those things go on long enough and you're like, well, hell, like I finally gotta fight back.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie here, I can kind of believe where he's coming from because I always say these morning sports debate shows are always performative. I can see a situation where Ryan Clark kind of went off on a tangent to spice up the segment, but at the same time, even after that segment and throughout the 2024 season, he wasn't really hyping Josh Allen like that, especially during the MVP debate. Like it does always feel he singles out Josh with harsher criticism and even Aaron Rodgers. For the past 3 years, I saw how he was treating Rodgers even when he was winning the league MVP. And this season, aside from the first half of the 2024 season, Rodgers was pretty decent. He threw 18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, which is pretty good in the second half of the season. Mind you, he just came back from an Achilles injury, so I just found the criticism of Aaron maybe a tad bit unjust considering everything. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Ryan Clark's mea culpa. Do you think he was unfairly criticized and labeled as a race baiter?